When I first started in farming, I really thought I would be all alone out here in the woods because people told me that Black and brown folks don't want to farm if they have a choice. My name is Leah Penniman, and I am the farm manager and co-director at Soulfire Farm in Grafton, New York. Soulfire Farm is an Afro-Indigenous centered community farm that's dedicated to uprooting racism in the food system. When you look at who came up with a lot of the technology sustainable farmers use, like raised beds, cover crops, polycultures, compost, those have Afro-Indigenous roots. And so I think it's very important to uplift that it's very much an us thing as Black and brown folks to be engaged in the work of agriculture, the work of healing and repairing our relationship with the earth. Racism and white supremacy are really built into the DNA of the US food system, beginning with the genocidal theft of land from Native Americans, continuing with the kidnapping of my own ancestors from the shores of West Africa to do forced agricultural labor, and then maturing into its current form where farm management is actually among the whitest professions in the United States, and being a farm laborer is among the brownest. So one of our programs is the Solidarity Share doorstep delivery of fresh food to people who need it in the community. And we prioritize people impacted by incarceration, immigration policies, and other forms of state violence. And we've established a program for aspiring Black and brown farmers. They come to the farm when it's not a pandemic for a week-long 50-hour course that covers everything from soil to harvest to marketing, as well as the beautiful ancestral practices we have of creating sustainable food systems. The federal government will define a high poverty area with no grocery stores as a food desert. We prefer the term food apartheid because there's nothing natural about a situation where your zip code is the #1 determiner of your life expectancy. We have a Soulfire in the City gardening program that builds raised bed boxes for families under food apartheid. So we're providing the lumber, the soil, the seeds, the plants, as well as a whole community of support to these aspiring gardeners. I feel really excited to be alive right now in this time of awakening and reckoning. The very same systems that lead to police brutality and mass incarceration are the systems that lead to food apartheid. But anything that can be created can also be undone. We can create a world where the land is shared, where everyone has access to food and clean water. I'm hopeful that this generation can work together to create a truly equitable society.